Cool. First off, man, how does it feel fighting at 8:30 in the morning?
Feels pretty good. It's not too much of an adjustment, coming from the East Coast. So I was used to being up around this time, and all week I was waking up around 5 or 6 already. So it was pretty cool. It was like pretty normal for me.
Was that an adjustment you made knowing the time you were fighting, or you just sort of fell into that routine as soon as you got here?
I just fell into the routine. I just kind of let fight week flow. I don't try to just change too much. You're going to fight regardless, and you put your body through stress already with the weight cut. So for me, it's just like once you get in the cage, you just go do your job.
Well, let's talk about that weight cut. Why the decision to move down to 170?
Man, I got down to Sanford, and we've talked about it before I even got here. But Coach Jones, Kami, they mentioned it, and they had a great team around me. Dr. Peacock, he ran all these medical tests, and he said you can make it healthily, and if it's the best decision for my career moving forward, we're going to do it. So we wanted the challenge, we accepted the challenge of going to 70, and now we're working our way up to the top.
Obviously, the weight cut itself is a battle, but once you were in there, fighting at 170 pounds, how did it feel? Did you feel stronger? Did you feel faster? How did it feel?
Yeah, I felt stronger. I felt real comfortable in there. It felt good. Like my body, no cramping, nothing weird. Just legs were underneath me. It felt really good. If I could go in there and throw too if I wanted to. But my coach had a great game plan, so we didn't have to get there and brawl or anything. So it was cool. And once I got in the cage, I was just I knew it was where I was meant to be, and my body felt like it just responded the way it needed to.
How was the weight cut?
The weight cut was funny. It was Coach Lentz won't let me have ice, so
congratulations.
But it was a good one. It was just my first real cut, so it was definitely a challenge. But at the same time too, I think thank God for the guys around me. Delano, Coach Jones, and Coach Lentz. They really walked me through it, and it was fun. So I'm excited for the next one and just do better.
The fight itself, more of a grappling heavy strategy we saw from you today. What was the thinking behind that? Was that opponent specific, or you just wanted to show more aspects to your game? Talk to us about that.
I really didn't think I was going to grapple as much as I did. I kind of just felt it in the fight. I don't try to think too much. I think that used to be an issue. I would just think, and this fight, it was just we got close. I know he has a good clinch game. He has a good, spinning attack. So not to be caught with anything stupid and just control the fight. Strike very, be simple in there. 1-2s and get after him, and then take him down. Once we got there, I realized that's where we were winning the fight. So I just wanted to keep it going, and then obviously got us to finish. So I was happy about that. Yeah,
the finish itself. I mean, if there's any sort of rumors, you might lose strength going down to 170, I don't think that's true, because you choked a guy out with no hooks in. It just seemed almost brute strength once you got underneath the chin. Once you had it in, did you just feel, this is over?
I felt like I had it, and I said, I'm not going to let it go. I saw him kind of adjusting, and at first I thought about it, and I've missed submissions before. And Coach Rocha and I last week, Wagner, he just kind of went over. He said, make it an MMA fight and just, be calm in there. And then just different things. We've been working a lot of chokes in our jiu-jitsu class, just very simple, and it came together.
Cool. Last two from me. You are the first UFC athlete to compete in those Venom shorts. Did they feel any different? How's the Venom thing?
They feel good. I mean, I like the material. It's a little bit thicker than what they had with Reebok. So this is I think it's a little bit more durable. I like the look. It's especially the whole fit, everything. It just fits really well. The jumpsuits, everything. I just like the way it fits in my body, and it just felt good in there.
Cool. And lastly, for me, you mentioned on the broadcast about an Alex at home.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted, if you wanted an opportunity to talk about how he's inspired you. You mentioned he was proving some things are more challenges than others.
For sure, yeah. I have a little buddy named Alex back home in North Carolina. Without sparing too many details, he wasn't feeling good, right? And when his family called in and checked on him, everybody else is crying, and he's 10 years old. He says, "I'm good, I'm fine," and it's a pretty serious situation, but it just kind of taught me. We got on the phone, we talked a little bit, and I just realized it's a lot bigger than ourselves, right? He was going through, it was a serious medical condition at first, but he's definitely on the up and recovering. But the way he handled it at 10 years old, he made everybody just relax. And that for me was what's the point? I'm getting in a fight, I'm about to go do what I love. I chose to do this. He didn't choose to not feel good. He didn't choose to go through what he's going through, but he stood up and he's like, let's go, let's have a good day. Always a great attitude. He's been in quarantine for a year now already, but he's just he just has a great attitude about it, and that just taught me a lot. It was one of those things I kind of didn't realize I needed to hear before my fight. I think sometimes I put more pressure on myself than I need to, and he just his attitude at 10 years old can teach us a lot. You can learn a lot from kids, so that's what I got to say.
I'm glad to hear he's on the mend, and congratulations on the win.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
So the move to 170. So has this been like a life change for you? Are you staying lighter in general, or are you just cutting earlier to get down to the 170?
Well, when I fought at 85, I was usually like in the 190s already. So it wasn't like a huge life change, but this is just the first one where I really had to cut, like actually cut down to get there and weight. When I was at 85, I didn't really need like a sauna or anything. It was just kind of like, all right, let's sweat, change up a little things what you're eating, but I can kind of eat whatever I want. At 70, I really kind of I guess you could say it was a life change where I had to just monitor things and do a lot of things I never knew what to do before. Heat acclimation, weight management sessions, things that I just wasn't used to yet. So that's kind of been the main thing going here.
Well, you did so well at 85. What was the final catalyst for you to want to decide to go down to 170?
We wanted the challenge, like why, if you can always do something special, you don't want to get to the end of life and say, what if, right? We brought it up before, Coach Jones, he's definitely guided me a lot, and then he was one of the first people to bring it up, him and Coach Kami. And I was just sitting there thinking, I was like, okay, let's see. He's like, well, if I accept the challenge, then we can go get it, right? And I just remember that one day I said, we took the challenge and we did it, and it's been going well so far, right? So that's what I want to do.
So when you're in there and the power and you're clinching, did you feel like your energy level stayed strong? Was it better than what it was before?
Yeah, actually, man, my energy felt great in there. I didn't feel like I was gassing out or anything. At first, I was actually kind of wondering about that. People say when you go to 70 or when you go down a lower weight class, your body might not respond as well. But I think it's honestly, I feel better than I did at 85. All week, my back, my body, my legs were underneath me. Like my physiological response was just great, and I was just happy about that.
And then looking at this division, outside of, calling out who's next or whatever, who are the names in that division that you really look forward to someday squaring up against the Octagon? Because now it's a whole new group of individuals that you haven't looked at for quite some time. Who are some of the names that you appreciate and that you'd like to challenge yourself against?
Man, there are a few guys. I've seen, might get his name right. Is it Sean Brady? He's a good fighter in the 70, yeah. Daniel Rodriguez, Mike Perry fight tonight, and that's a cool fight. I know they try to match up fights from the same card, so that'd be cool to fight the winner of one of those guys. I'm still learning all the 70 pounders. I don't even know who they are yet, but I'd like to fight anybody at 70 right now.
Very cool. And looking at 2021, what sort of goals are you setting for yourself by the end of the year?
By the end of the year, I'd like to fight 5 times this year, whether it's a short notice 85 fight or 4 more times at 70. It's got to fight once each quarter. If 6 fights are there too, that's great. Move my way up, get into the rankings by the end of the year, and start putting myself in towards title contention. But right now, it's learning. I feel like I used to rush things a lot. I'd always just want to, I do want to fight right away. Don't get me wrong. I want to fight next week. But it's been pretty cool learning. Being at Sanford and understanding keeping things simple and not rushing. And I got to help my teammates get ready for their fights now too.
Very cool. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Congrats on the win, Impa, and
thank you.
Welcome back to Vegas. A little homecoming for you.
Yeah.
You look tremendous in there. Out of curiosity, did Sasha do anything that troubled you at all? I know it was a dominant performance, but.
Sasha's a good fighter. I like that spinning elbow he had. He kept me on my toes for sure. That was good. He had good knees in the clinch. I think threw 1 or 2 knees in there. But it wasn't really surprising. It's kind of what we expected. Coach Lentz and I, the first week of camp when I got this fight, he broke it down for me every bit. He said, we're close, we're far. And, Coach Jones was telling me to be tough in the middle. So it was kind of things we expected, but I just knew he did well. And he did well in the clinch. So it wouldn't throw me off, but I appreciated how he fought.
Excellent. And you were so in your game, just in the zone with the grappling. The attack was just fantastic. Really, did it bother you at all that there was some blatant fence grabbing? Or did you even notice that?
Well, it's funny. I've seen him fight before, and he's grabbed the fence before. It's fighting. I can only control what I can control, right? I just gotta stay gritty, get after it, and if he grabs the fence, that's on him. I don't think it's the most honorable thing to do. If it's against the rules, but I got a great team around me, right? And they train me what to focus on the next thing. If he grabs the fence, he can't use that hand as well, right? So I just got to attack from there. I think that if I focus on what he's not giving me, I'll never see what opportunity I have in front of me. I can't focus on what he's doing that he's not supposed to do. I just got to do my job, and that was my main focus the entire fight. I heard the ref say it, and it was kind of something I expected from watching the film, but I just knew I had a job to do and come out with my hand raised.
Excellent. Good job tonight. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We'll throw in one last one. You keep throwing out Coach Lentz in there. What's one of the biggest things that you've learned from Nick? I mean, I know we appreciated Nick's fighting style throughout his whole career, but what are some of the gems of knowledge he's dropped towards you that you take to heart out there?
Man, that was pretty cool. He, not to rush things, to have a plan and commit to it, right? Trust in it. He's fought for so long and he's done a great job. But I remember in camp I was doing too much. And he just slowed it down for me. He just said, if you're close, you're close. If you're far, you're far. And one of the things I took from him, he said, at the beginning of camp, I used to watch film all camp. He said, we're going to watch it this 1 week and then don't do that. And then we're not going to watch film anymore. And it was kind of cool learning from somebody. I was actually in a Bible study once. It's about finding people who are wise around you, who've already done it. And that's what I feel like Coach Lentz is to me. He's just like there's people who've been there before me, and I got to trust. It's a new team, a new place, a new weight class, everything. And I gotta trust him, and that's been pretty cool for me. He encouraged me just to find a new process, to do it a certain way and stick with it, and he broke it down, and you saw what he did tonight. We got our first finish in the UFC, first finish in a while, and it's just a lot of the wisdom that he's given me has just been simple things. Just keep it simple. You know what to do. Don't think about it too much, and that's been a game changer. Sure. Awesome. Thanks.